What's good, y'all boys? Welcome back to another video. Before we get started, make sure you like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell, and leave a comment down below. You feel me? Engagement. I want you to get notifications when I drop the video straight to your phone. Today we're watching The Secret of Selling the Negro. 1954. So this is we dig in the archives for this, okay? I just happened to come across this and I'd never seen it before, so you about to witness this with me for the first time. Shout out Real Black.
Well, move that over there. Why don't you?
You hear all the voices in the back?
You got the level on that, Joe? Hey, how's this video coming through?
All right, the light's hot enough.
Don't forget the dolly in close. All right, be sure and stay clear of number 2 camera, and all set. Stand by.
Yo, I don't know what it is, but every time I hear like an old or watch an old video like this era, 50s, 40s, 60s even, the way the people talk, it's like everyone talk the same way. You get what I'm saying? I don't know how to describe it, but like it sounds so similar to each other. Like every announcer type of voice, every narrator type of voice, they sound the same. Alright, bro. Okay.
I've got a story here that I think is big, really big, because it's bound to have a terrific impact on business. I'm talking about a new market, a big new market, millions upon millions of new prospects with $15 billion to spend. That's right, I said $15 billion. That's a lot of money, isn't it? The surprising thing is that it's a fresh market, still full of opportunities. It grew up so fast, got so big in a hurry, that few of us realize its scope. Now, these days, nobody's likely to pass up chances to sell. And yet right here in our own front yard, there's a neglected market. There's money waiting to be spent. To get the...
Who do y'all guess that he's talking about? It starts with a B and ends with an S.
story of this market, to be able to tell you the secret of selling the Negro, we did a lot of digging. We talked to leading businessmen, to customers, and to salesmen. We went to Washington, D.C. We set up cameras and other key points around the nation. And out of this all, there emerged a story, the story of a new market. Yes, this is the market we're talking about, the new Negro family. Their name is Wells or Wilson, Smith or Brown or Alexander or Breen. They live in Chicago, in Atlanta or New York, in Detroit, St. Louis, Los Angeles, any one of 1,000 cities and towns.
Damn, nobody cared about Florida back then. Damn. I didn't hear Jacksonville, Tampa, Miami, or Orlando.
All over the country, families such as this are enjoying new prosperity. They have new interests, new standards of living, a buying power they've never enjoyed before. They're good prospects for practically all types of goods and services. All too often, though, they're overlooked prospects. Why? Because of some good, valid reason? No. They're overlooked because of mistaken ideas, because of out-of-date ideas about how the Negro lives and how he buys. The truth
It sounded like he didn't want to say because of racism.
of the matter is that the Negro lives pretty much the same as other folks. He buys pretty much the same way, too. But just the same, a lot of old doubts and opinions keep cropping up over and over again.
I don't like to do business with Negroes. They're drifters. You can't keep track of them.
Yes, although a lot of people think that way, the truth is that 1 out of every 3 Negro families living in cities today owns its own home. That figure comes directly from the United States Bureau of Census.
Why did it say it owns its own home? It's That's kind of strange.
Maybe so, but Negroes are poor credit risks.
Not more of a credit risk than any other group. Actually, the Negro homebuyer meets his payments faithfully, often more faithfully than other race groups in the same economic level. That's the information we got from people who ought to know, the National Association of Real Estate Boards.
Well, maybe, but I've always heard that Negroes buy shoddy, poor quality merchandise.
No, it's just the other way around. According to leading researchers, in proportion to population and income, Negroes buy more quality products than any other comparable United States group. You see, there are a lot of confused notions about the Negro customer. But when you dig right down and find out about them, they just don't hold water. Negroes own homes. They meet their payments faithfully. They buy good brands of merchandise. So why let a lot of old-fashioned ideas hurt profits? Take a look at the real facts. Here in Washington, D.C., the nation's capital, some amazing facts and figures about this new market have been uncovered. For a first-hand report, we would like to take you directly to the United States Department of Commerce to hear this story from the Secretary of Commerce himself. Here is the Honorable Sinclair Weeks, the Secretary of Commerce of the United States.
In the Department of Commerce, we are constantly alert to trends that mean a healthier national economy, better business for the nation as a whole. Recently, we have been interested in a rising young market, one that represents a huge potential for goods and services. I'm referring to the new Negro market. The tremendous buying power of this group is backed, of course, by an increased earning power. The average Negro family's income is at a record high. In fact, since 1939, it has increased more than the average income of all other Americans. Just take a look at a few figures.
Wow.
An official Department of Commerce report shows that at least one...
I wonder about that, though, because like I said earlier, they said it increased the most than any other group. Do you think that's because because of them, we started down here? Everyone else was already here, generally, but we started down here and had to shoot back up. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's why there was more growth, just to be equal. We didn't start the same playing level.
1/3 of the Negroes living in cities earn from $2,000 to $5,000 a year. Today, the average...
Listen, bro, money was so different back then, bro. The value of money, $2,000 to $5,000 a year. You're lucky if you make that in a month. You know what I'm saying? Damn, money changed like crazy, bro. Inflation, all that.
Negro wage earner brings home a paycheck 4 times larger than the one he collected in 1939. As a whole, the Negro market has a total income of about $15 billion every year. And after taxes, Negro families still have many billions of dollars to spend. Here is a buying power that cannot help but have a tremendous effect on our national economy and on business prosperity in general. When these dollars are spent for a...
You know, let's do some Googles, right? Let's do some Googles to see what it is in recent times. In the second quarter of 2020, white households, who account for 60% of the U.S., white households held $94 trillion. Black households, who account for 13.4% of the U.S. population, held just $4.6 trillion of total household wealth. The wealth gap. So back then, in 1954, it was, what did they say? 15 billion? Now in 2022, well, this is 2020, it's 4.6 trillion. All that money that we have collectively, but it's so hard for us to collectively put money together to, you know, to fix our infrastructures, to build better things, you know what I'm saying? Fund our own schools, fund our own jobs, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's tough. And people started to back then. But then integration messed up a lot of people's things. Like, there was this family that owned a whole bus line, public bus, you know what I'm saying, transit system that got torn away because of integration. The white ones just took over. Says they couldn't segregate anymore, whatever. It's tough, bro. It's tough. And it's been hard for people to collectively build back up. Anyways, back to the video. Ooh, wrong one.
A wide range of goods, services, and employment. Business everywhere is bound to feel the impact.
This new buying power has resulted in a class Negro market, a profitable,
she got the records,
above-average
boy.
income group of consumers. For example, the nation's largest newspaper and magazine research organization, Daniel Starch and staff, reports these significant figures. More than 51% of the readers of Ebony magazine
Get your records, boy. Get your records, boy. Shout out Black Pumas. Want you to be my woman, baby.
have a record player in their homes. Almost 64% own a television set. And almost 78% enjoy the convenience of an electric refrigerator. It is also a fact, and this is from the magazine The Food.
That's another thing that's interesting. Look at all the things that's like, wow, you got a TV. Wow, you have a fridge. That's basics. Everybody has those now, bro. Like, it's crazy how this shit just changed.
Food Field reporter that Negroes spend almost $3 billion a year for food alone. Per capita, they buy more cosmetics, drugs, and toiletries than anyone else in the country. And their children are better educated, too, because since 1930, enrollment in Negro colleges is up 2,500%. But really, to recognize the importance of this class Negro market, we must realize that something has been happening economically in our country. People are on the move. The population is shifting.
Like, you see what I mean by the voice thing? People are on the move. The economy is shifting. I don't know how, I can't even do the voice, but you know what I'm talking about. That's that like 1950s radio voice, bro.
The makeup of metropolitan populations today is different than it was just a few short years ago. To give you a better idea of what we mean, we set up several cameras, candid cameras, in a number of shopping locations. Take a look at these shoppers. Notice what a large proportion of them are Negroes. What's the reason? It's simply this. Negro families are moving into the cities where there are more job opportunities. Here they find occupations with more prestige and security, jobs that pay more money. As a result, Negro families today often make up the largest part of Central City consumer.
Sometimes I wish I could travel back in time just to like, just to see with my own eyes, you know what I'm saying? I want to see with my own eyes and just see like how niggas is living for real. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I like experiencing things for myself. That's what I want to experience. So whoever comes up with a time machine, I want to be the first person to use it. Well, not the first person, because what if I die and I can't get back?
Prospects. A shoe store in Chicago's Loop, for example, reports that more than 50% of its customers are Negroes. In another case, a drugstore located at a transfer point in a non-Negro neighborhood finds that its Negro customers total 25%. The trend is plain. The new Negro families today are moving into more populated areas, to the cities, where there are more stores, more buying opportunities. Since 1940, in San Francisco alone, the Negro market has increased by 89%. In Chicago, by 81%. Houston, Texas, 45%. Philadelphia, 50%. The impact of this new buying force is so tremendous that actually in 14 major United States markets, a product cannot be number one without Negro support. A product must have the backing of this big new buying power to be a leader in the field. What do you have to sell? Chewing gum or cars? Toothpaste or transportation? Whatever it is, here are millions of prospects. And these prospects are everywhere. Negro customers can no longer be pigeonholed. They cannot be classified as prospects who trade only in certain stores, certain neighborhoods. Today, Negroes shop downtown. They shop in supermarkets. They shop in small neighborhood stores. They'll buy from anyone who wants to sell to them. But we all know that before you can sell to customers, you've got to get to know them. You must understand something about them. What do the Negro customers buy? Why do they buy? How do you sell to them? Let's find out. Let's hear the opinion of men who have spent a lifetime studying the buying habits of customers the world over. Here is what sales psychologists have to say about selling to the Negro.
The secret of selling to the Negro is expressed in one word. That word is recognition. Now, there's nothing unusual about that. People want to be recognized. They need recognition. That's...
Let me tell you the real shit, right? Because the way they say it, they're going to say it, is probably not as understanding of context. But maybe it is, but just being subtle, they want to say it. What did he just say? Recognition. Niggas ain't never had shit. So when niggas finally get the means to buy shit, to have shit, we want to get nice things so that we can show to ourselves that, yeah, I can get this. Yeah, I'm able to. Yeah. And to show other people that, you know, I'm stepping like that. You know, I got bread. I'm stepping like that. I can show out if I want to. Because it's the same thing that we do now. You know what I'm saying? Niggas go to the mall, and as soon as they touch some bread, they go to the mall and go blow it on some Gucci or Louis or Prada. You know what I'm saying? They try to push this luxury lifestyle on girls, especially black girls. Your rich black girl lifestyle, rich black girl energy. And yeah, it's cool. It's cool to have nice things. There's no problem with that. But a lot of times shit get taken too far and you become a materialistic demon that only cares about material things that you can't take with you when you die. Okay? And it gets to the point where you start to only value money, bro. Which we see all the time. A lot of people only value bread. They only value a partner that could give them this type of lifestyle that got money. You know what I'm saying? And it's not really a good it's not a good mindset to have. You know what I'm saying? It could be taken, when it's taken too far, it can be taken into a bad extent. And I think that these white people, they know this is the reason why black people like to buy nice things. Black people like to spend money because they want to feel recognition is a good way to put it. They want to feel like that, yes, I deserve to be here just like anybody else. And I deserve to buy these things just like anybody else. Because the context of slavery, the context of racism and prejudice and bigotry. Okay? That's why. And that's the secret. Make them feel good. And that's what they do to women. They make them feel good like they're on their side. Nowadays.
Basic in all of it.
I wonder if they made a sequel. The secret of selling the female. Or the woman.
But perhaps because he's had so little of it, the Negro needs even more.
See?
He needs to...
What? He said it. See, he said it.
Feel important and appreciated. This need is a very real and important one. It shows up even in many of the Negro's shopping habits. Anyone who sells or wants to sell to the Negro customer should know about some of these habits. 3 habits in particular play a big part in every sales transaction. To begin with, most Negroes buy by brand. They ask for products by name. They're quick to turn down off-brands. Do you wonder why? Well, listen to what this customer is thinking.
That last hat I bought just didn't hold up at all.
You see, for a long time, the Negro has been sold a lot of shoddy, second-class merchandise. So now he asks for name brands in order to make sure he gets his money's worth. Buying by brand. That's the first important Negro buying habit. Now for the second. The Negro buys good quality merchandise. Symbols of quality and prestige are very important to the Negro customer. This woman, for example, is buying fine crystalware. But she is also buying the admiration and approval of her friends and relatives. Listen to her thoughts.
My, isn't it beautiful? I can hardly wait to show it to Sally and Joan.
It's a well-known fact.
Woo! That's tough, boy. That's tough, but that's facts. You know what I'm saying? So listen to what they're saying and apply it to modern day. How many people do you think have those same type of thoughts? And they probably don't even realize that that is what they're thinking. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I do it for me. I do it for me. I do it for me. No, the fuck you don't. It's okay. Just accept that and we can move forward.
That many Negro customers are influenced by the opinions of others. What their friends may think of a certain item often decides whether or not the sale is made. So remember, the Negro buys quality merchandise. That's the second important point. And here's the third thing to remember when selling to a Negro customer. When he specifically asks for one thing, don't try to sell him something else. Don't try to switch him at the point of sale. If you do, he'll probably react something like this.
Doesn't he think I've got the money to pay for it?
There's a reason for this reaction. Again, because he's had experience with cheap merchandise, the Negro resents being offered a substitute. He wants to be sold on quality, not price. The Negro buys by brand, he buys quality, and he doesn't like to be switched at point of sale. These are the keys to selling the Negro customer. Another point. The Negro family does things together, as a group. The family works as a unit. It lives as a unit, and it buys as a unit. When you sell to one member, you many times sell to all. It's also true that many places of entertainment are still closed to the Negro. So he spends more of his money for the things that are available to him, often for items that are considered luxuries. Another trait of the Negro market is the fact that it is a pre-sold market. We know that the Negro buys by brand, and he buys the brands that he knows something about. Where does the Negro buyer get this information?
Pre-sold.
We know that Negro customers are turning more and more to the publications that are tailored specifically to their needs, that give them the news and
Ebony
the
magazine.
information that they want to read about. Many leading businessmen and companies already know this. That's why so many of them are taking this direct, sure route of reaching the Negro customer. The vice president of advertising of the Drew & Watch Company, for example, says this.
In many important cities throughout the United States, Negroes are important customers of the credit jeweler. Therefore, it seemed that Ebony magazine would be a very important advertising medium for us. We would say it was very well received, and from our viewpoint, a very successful campaign.
From the Remington Rand Company comes this statement.
Our records show that advertising in Ebony has been effective in many ways. As all good advertising should, it has built a terrific amount of goodwill.
Typewriters? Jeez.
And has brought a volume of sales and sales inquiries.
A representative of the
It's so crazy. You know, the advancement in technology and stuff is so, like, crazy to me because it's so accessible. We take it for granted. Like, the fact, look at this camera, right? Well, you can't see the camera. But look at this video. Look at the quality of the video. Look at these simple lights that's next to me, okay? Now, if you were to capture this video, right? Which isn't anything too crazy. I'm just watching another video and giving my thoughts about it. But if you were to show this to somebody in 1954, they would probably think that you're a wizard or something. Because what are they looking at? That shit is so clear. It's so clear compared to this. They'd be like, what? What? And really, things didn't really even start getting this clear till like later. You feel me? Because there's even stuff in like 2002 that was not high quality, bro. It's so interesting, bro. I want to take something back in time and blow somebody's mind.
Like a syrup company.
The government gonna lock my ass up.
Makes this statement.
Because of Alaga's regard for the influence of Ebony in the Negro market, advertising space was doubled. Alaga's long experience in selling to Negroes now takes the most direct route to its best customers, reaching Ebony's 2.5 million audience in every issue.
And here are the
Ew, why did they cap the syrup bottles like that? Ew.
statements of still other business leaders.
Yes, many business leaders are discovering the most direct and most efficient way of reaching the new Negro market. Look here at the results of the same advertisement in two different publications, Ebony and another general magazine. You can see that proportionately, more men and women read the ad in Ebony than the one in the other magazine.
I want y'all to notice how, even in both examples, women read them more. See, this thing with marketing and consumerism and capitalism is all a step-by-step process. First, let's try to figure out how to sell to the Negro, to black people. And then they realize the bigger market in general is women. Let's target women for our corporate capitalistic desires. If you want to make some bread, learn how to sell to a girl, bro.
And they did a better job of remembering it, too. A greater percentage of readers noted, associated, and remembered the ad in Ebony. But now, wait a minute. If the Negro market is so big and easy to reach, why aren't more companies going out after it? Well, often because of the feeling that there's something entirely different, unusual about selling to the Negro. But is it really so different? What do salesmen say? The successful salesmen who do a good job of selling in Negro communities. How do you go about getting the order?
How do I get the order? Well, to tell you the truth, I don't do anything. Anything different, that is. I've been calling on these accounts long enough to know that the Negro just wants to be treated like everybody else. No matter who you're calling on, a little friendliness and courtesy help a lot. Naturally, anybody resents being patronized or talked down to. So I usually call a man Mr. Brown, Mr. Smith, or Mr. whatever his name is, until he tells me to call him by his first name. And of course, I always stick to business. I stay away from talk about race or religion or politics. That goes for talk about Negro celebrities, too. You know, this business about what good prize fighters and singers the Negroes are. Who cares? When a guy's in business, no matter what color his skin is, he's interested in making a living, in making money. That's uppermost in his mind. I guess...
You know, it's so funny how this is common sense stuff that he's saying, but like this is something that had to be said back then. That's crazy to me. I steer clear of topics of race or politics. Yeah, why the fuck you want to talk about race anyway? What the fuck? Come here and buy your groceries and leave.
Guess maybe what I'm saying is that I try to help any way I can. Sometimes with displays or ad materials, or an idea once in a while. The important thing is that if it helps push sales for the dealer, it helps push them for me, too.
Handle the Negro account just like any of your others. Don't patronize. Stick to business.
And don't be racist. Why can't they say, just say don't be racist, huh? I think because probably back then people didn't like being called racist either.
Get interested in the account. Pitch in and help any way you can. Sounds like pretty good sales advice. That's the secret of selling the Negro.
Whoosh, 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 whoosh. Jesus, Jesus. Well, that was the secrets of selling to the Negro. I don't know why they said selling the Negro, selling to the Negro. When he's saying selling the Negro, it sounds like some slave auction type shit. Like, bro, be for real. Tell me what y'all thought down below. I think this was a very intriguing blast to the past, blast from the past, and just taking a window, peeking through the window of the past and seeing how race relations were in America, seeing the evolution of what came before today. You know what I'm saying? You see the echoes of the past and everything in the modern world. So sometimes we gotta take time to understand where certain shit come from. You feel me? It's very we definitely gonna look into more stuff like this, bro. Let me know if y'all like videos like this down below. If it's as intriguing to anybody else as it is to me, hey, let me know. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all. All right, peace out.